If you are in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, the atmosphere looks so much. Few hours ago, we could see traffic everywhere. That means people are moving perhaps to where they're going to be voting tomorrow. Some others are doing the last minute shopping to get set for tomorrow, because there will be a shutdown from most of the perimeters of the state, and inside the state there will be a lockdown of some sort. That is what the police are saying. What about the preparations of INEC? My guest in the studio have been telling us about just how they think INEC is preparing and the kind of security preparations that we are seeing, considering the history of elections in River State. Ezenwa Wago, the chairman, Partners for Electoral Reforms, and a very, very vibrant, I should say, woman who monitors election in Nigeria, Esther Uzoma of the Election Situation Room. They've been talking to us on the program. Well, if you look at what is going to happen, where the battle is going to be, the battlegrounds in the state tomorrow, where would that be? Let me start from you, Ezenwa.
Well, I don't want to re-echo the battleground narrative. I think that elections will hold. Some of the places will be exciting. The better way to say is that
you don't want to use the word battle.
Yes, because it's the psychological effect of that is not helpful for the kind of messaging that we think should go out for this election. We're going to have to see exciting times around the Ogoni area because of the contestation in that area. That's the base of the senator who is really hungry to return to Senate, the Magnus Abbey. So the Ogoni area is going to be a place that will be exciting to watch. From Eleme down to Gokana and all of those places will be really, really interesting. And I think we are making, there is one narrative that we've put out about rerun. There is no rerun in Rivers. We are concluding elections. And people keep giving, because this heightened tension is something that we must bring
it's
down.
going to be a rerun in several local governments. In the real sense of it, Eleme, Gokana, Kana, Adoni, Boni, Eche, Azari, Toro, those ones are going to be full conduct of the election. That's about 7 of them.
Asari Toro is a place to watch. It has a very serious history of violence. But I think that the level of mobilization, the mobilization is not sufficient. We need to speak to the mind of the citizens to understand that this is about them, and that anything that takes them out of it means that you have people doing things on their behalf and pretending to be representing them.
We saw a sort of arson in Eleme. Eleme is going to be one of those areas. I personally saw that, I covered that, where a bus taking materials to a polling station was cornered. The ad hoc officials were sent out and it was set ablaze. So I mean, that's in Eleme.
You see.
The other time that is.
The tragedy of the times we live in, the tragedy of River State is that it's a balkanized territory. There are toughs controlled by lords. The concession of the civil space to non-state actors did not begin with these elections. There were people who were already in charge of areas, in full control.
The lords. According to you.
Well, so before now, they had seriously contended with state power. Seriously contended with powers of the federal government.
And that may be true, because we saw the amnesty program the state embarked upon, where we saw hundreds of ammunitions have been submitted.
But this is diminish us as a people.
Exactly.
What is the things that we should be ashamed of is the things we glory in. We are talking about elections, a conclusion of elections. We are talking about 15,000 policemen. We are talking about gunboats. Exactly. That's the narrative that goes out of this country.
Giving the impression.
And people who hear you, people who live in civilized environment, are talking gunboats.
As if we're going to war.
And that's why I keep telling you that people you want to observe are not war observers.
Maybe because the election in this kind of terrain is war for some people.
No, but it
Some
shouldn't be. We must confront that narrative. It is our responsibility to confront it.
And I guess it's the role of the people, especially in these areas like Bonny, Eche, because you have facilities of state there where the nation relies on making wealth. And so when there's violence in these areas,
when the state keeps quiet, and in quotes, champions emerge, ethnic champions emerge, and the state keeps quiet, it gives the people the impression that someone else is in charge. So on build up, when it's election time, suddenly you want to say we are the ones in charge. But the message we are telling, River State people is this: it will not happen if you don't let it happen. Nobody grows tall by cutting off another person's head. You must grow tall as a person if you want to grow tall.
There is a political party has said, look, there won't be trouble if you do not rig this election. Do not manipulate the process and we will not foment trouble.
Who determines that?
This whole narrative.
The propaganda.
So the man who says don't rig election, is he saying he's not planning to rig?
Or who determines that elections are
You understand? Who is I said is a local, every election is police unit centered. Can we allow the people come out in their polling units
and vote?
If there are issues, can the people in those polling units raise those issues?
Talking about
now, why do you have party agents? Hold on, because we need to understand what is the reason why you have party agents. Why do you send party agents to the polling units? You send party agents to the polling units so that they can oversee and represent your interests in the polling unit. Can't you have confidence in your own party agent?
Just as we conclude this conversation now, tomorrow is the day, just a few hours away, and we'll be looking forward to the election. The streets are going to be locked. It's only perhaps in this country that I see that you lock down the economy of a state or a country because of election. But as we go into that very crucial and critical hour, just in a few minutes each, tell me, what do you think is going to be critical for tomorrow? And at the end of the day, do you see this election being concluded?
The big issue will be that people will want to take advantage of the topography. Now, what is that? That most of the places in which this contestation will take place will be riverine.
Okay.
So we're going to have a situation in which things will go very well in the city center, but you are likely going to see a lot of confusion.
Just as we close now, Esther.
Yes,
what do you see tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the elections will hold. INEC will once again give its best.
Many thanks, Esther Azoma. Many thanks, Ezewa Nwagu, Partners for Aircraft Reforms. Many thanks. And also, you that have been watching, stick with Channels Television. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very big day for people of River State. And we will make that day a beautiful one for you. Just stick with us and watch Channels Television. Many thanks for being such a great company. On behalf of the team, I'm sure.